Episode 333, 7 AI Trends for 2026.
The primitive forms of artificial intelligence we already have proved very useful.
AI is a golden opportunity.
How do we ensure that this technology is regulated?
The long arc of technological history is now in an extraordinary new phase.
The AI 6 podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
Goldman Sachs wrote an article and they have laid out 7 AI predictions for this year. In today's episode, I want to share them with you and explain how they might apply to us. Hello and welcome back to AI 6. I'm Joanne Sweeney and I'm on a mission to upskill 500,000 people in AI in just 6 minutes a day. Goldman Sachs CIO Marco Argenti has 40 years in technology. He says 2025 was the biggest year of change he has seen in his career. And he believes 2026 will be bigger still. And he's made 7 predictions for how AI evolves this year. Trend number 1. AI models stop being chatbots and become operating systems. Until now, AI has mostly been something you ask questions of, but that's changing. In 2026, these models are behaving more like a computer's operating system. They access tools, browse the web, open files, and essentially get things done. You stop typing prompts and start giving instructions. The companies that own the best models will effectively own the new platforms everyone else builds on. That's a big shift in where the power sits. Trend 2. Memory becomes more important than model size. The last 2 years have been a race to build bigger, smarter models. Argenti says that the race is changing direction. The models know an enormous amount. What they are still poor at is remembering you specifically, your context, your previous conversations, your preferences. The focus in 2026 shifts to fixing that. Less about raw intelligence, more about relevance to you. Trend 3. Personal AI agents arrive for consumers. Argenti's analogy here is a good one. Using AI right now is like getting turn-by-turn directions. You prompt, it responds, you act. What is coming is more like a sat-nav. You say where you want to go and it handles the route. The things you currently do manually across a dozen different apps, booking, searching, comparing, scheduling, start getting handled for you. We have already seen early versions of this, but he's saying it will go mainstream in 2026. Trend number 4. Mega alliances reshape who can compete. Scale matters enormously in this space, and the way companies are securing scale is through major partnerships. Argenti's prediction is that the alliances forming in 2026 will be so large and so self-reinforcing that only a handful of players will realistically be able to compete at the frontier. He compares it to aerospace, where the barriers to entry are so high the industry ends up as a duopoly. We are already watching it happen. Disney and OpenAI, Goldman and Anthropic. Meta acquiring Manus. For organizations buying AI, the pool of truly independent vendors is getting smaller. Trend 5. Energy becomes the binding constraint. This is the trend that gets the least attention but probably deserves the most. Goldman Sachs research projects data center power consumption will nearly triple by 2030 compared to 2023. The physical infrastructure required to run AI at this scale takes years to build. Argenti calls it the gigawatt ceiling. In practical terms, access to power is becoming as strategically important as access to capital. For any organization with net zero commitments, the energy cost of the AI you are running is no longer a question for your IT team, but it belongs to your sustainability team. And of course, questions and decisions will need to be made in the boardroom. Trend 6, a 2-horse race. The geopolitical picture is sharpening. Argenti puts it plainly. The US and China both have a credible shot at leading on AI, and the gap between them is narrowing. For Europe, this is precisely why the sovereign AI conversation matters. France embedding Mistral in its military infrastructure, the EU AI Act. These are not just policy moves. They are attempts to ensure Europe is not left importing its AI from elsewhere and operating under someone else's rules. Trend 7, curiosity beats expertise. This is Argenti's most direct prediction about people. The workers who do well are not necessarily the deepest experts. They are the ones willing to rethink how they work. He says an expert who clings to old habits will be outperformed by someone less experienced but genuinely curious about working differently. Coming from the CIO of Goldman Sachs, that is worth listening to. So what Argenti is describing is you've got to know AI, you've got to use AI, and you've got to govern it. You've got to understand what these tools can do for you, for your business, for your organization. So, 7 trends directing AI in 2026. Or will that be the direction of artificial intelligence? I'd love to know your thoughts. That's it for today's show. If you're ready to turn these insights into skills, here's how I can help. Get your copy of my book, AI Playbook, on Amazon. It's the perfect companion to the show. For weekly AI strategy, subscribe to my newsletter, Human in the Loop, on LinkedIn. Or if you want to take the next big step, you can take our CPD accredited professional diploma in AI. Maybe you need something more tailored for your organization. You can book a call in my calendar at digitaltraining.ie. Or if you work in government or public sector, go over to publicsectormarketingpros.com. If you found this episode useful, please share it with a pro that you know. And I'd love to read your comments on Spotify. And if you can, take a second to like, rate, or subscribe wherever you listen. It really helps the show. This is AI6. I'll talk to you on the next episode.